Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Taurus, is the stars, and further it says 6 of hearts. And this is the number 16 card, so 1, 6. Yeah, 6 is coming with the 6 of hearts. 1, 6 and 7 are coming through strong with this energy. Further, it says you are not alone. You are guided. Even in darkness, the stars are there. Follow them. They will lead you home. Hope is not naive. It is wisdom. Trust the guidance. Yeah, so when we see the star, I relate it to the star card in the tarot, which is about finding your guidance, finding your true north, your north star, whatever that is, and trusting that you are being guided in the right path, or you are being guided on the path that you're meant to walk. So that trust, that faith, even though you might not be able to see the destination or how everything's going to work out, just knowing, just an inner knowing of the fact that you are being directed on the path for your highest good itself is the energy of this card. So, keeping the faith and the hope alive, and knowing that, you are being guided by a force which is larger than you. And the fact that your future or the stars are getting aligned for you to walk the path that has been carved out for you or made for you. So basically, you just need to keep trusting the process, Taurus. Know that you are being guided. Or you will see the signs. You will get the dreams. You will get the visions. You will get the info, the downloads. However the universe chooses to communicate with you, the path, the future, on one day at a time will start to become clear from now. So I feel that soon things will start to align, become more clearer. And the fact that you are trusting of it and knowing that, things are aligning for you. It's not just, just wishing randomly. It's knowing, it's that deep inner knowing that your life is unique. And it has a unique path. It has a unique direction. And when you're fully aligned with that direction or the path that you're meant to walk on, things will start to flow. So even though you're not able to see like the destination or the entire picture, you can just see, there's so many stars over here. The next level or the next path or the next task or the next day will unfold in a way that will lead you to your destination. So it's your inner GPS that's assisting you. It's the by chance coincidences that we call coincidences, but it's actually universe communicating with us. If you pay attention to that and not dismiss it in some way, shape or form, you will get some confirmations, you will get some pointers. So keep the faith up. Now, the downside of this energy is that, sometimes we feel that whatever is meant to be will be given to us or will come by us. That's not how it works. Like, we need to actually put in the work to meet the universe halfway. So you cannot just sit idle and just visualize or just fantasize and assume that things are just going to happen for you. So don't wait for that perfect day, perfect time. Or, don't waste away your time thinking like, oh, you know what? Why do I need to plan? Why do I need to work? That's not what it is. That's not the kind of belief you're talking about here. Hope does not mean that you don't put in the work. Hope does not mean that you lazy around. So keep putting in the work. Because, the universe is guiding you, but you're the vessel that has to put in the work in order to manifest your reality, not in order to manifest your dreams. And another caveat with this is that if you stumble upon challenges, that doesn't mean it's, that the universe is blocking your path. It's a challenge. And, a challenge has been put on our path for us to, upskill, to think of alternate ways, to think of better ways to accomplish the task. That's the only reason why, challenges are put on our path so that we grow from it, not that we get discouraged and stop working at it completely. So yes, wishing and visualizing is a good thing, but you need to walk the talk or walk the path. So you will be guided and you will get the signs. You will get the message will be conveyed to you some way or the other. But follow that message, follow the guidance, and put the right action, put the right energy, and you will be co-creating with the universe. That's how co-creation happens. And also another thing is that things manifest when we have clarity of purpose. Like, why exactly are we putting in the work? What exactly are we doing here? Are we just simply doing something without any, a vision, without any purpose? That also will not manifest. So when you put in the work, it needs to be focused work. You need to be able to visualize like what kind of work would be needed and put in that exact kind of work to manifest. Like, for example, if you want to build a piece of furniture, you cannot just be, cutting pieces, like, cutting the pieces or cutting the tabletop and just keep cutting all day, all night. What are you going to do with those pieces? You got to hammer them in. You got to assemble that. So, yeah, you can keep cutting pieces all day, but the tables are going to manifest unless you put the right kind of work. So that's what we're talking about here. And when this star comes about, your soul will find its purpose or the path going forward. And it could be at any age. So for example, you've been working for 30 years in an industry, finance industry, and suddenly you want to write a book about finance. So even though you might be 50 or 60, that doesn't mean that the opportunity is not yours for the taking. So you still follow your heart, still follow your soul, and you can still accomplish whatever you want, no matter what age you are. Now, some of you might actually be stargazers, but outside of that, some wish, some desire is coming true for you, whether it's buying a home in a specific place, whether it's a path that you chose for yourself career-wise, or a path to learn something, or you have a vision for your kids, or you have a vision for the neighborhood, or you have a shared vision with your family. It could be anything. It could be your vision. It could be a shared vision with your friends, with your family, with your kids, with your neighbors, with your online community even. So a shared vision, a shared purpose is also something that you will be drawn to. Now, for some of you, the visions could be, completing school, college, getting a certificate, a course, changing jobs, having a business of your own, excelling in something, maybe, sports, maybe arts and crafts, maybe getting into theater, whatever that is for you, or creating music, so it's something which is going to drive you forward, something that will guide you. And for you, Taurus, your second house energy, collective Taurus is the second house energy, which is the earth element. You are fixed earth sign. So, and for you, the collective Taurus energy is about stability, groundedness, rootedness. And I feel that's what this star for you will be, like being practical. And also having solid roots so that, you are able to expand and grow into, beyond where you are at this point in time. And because you are very, a structured and a practical sign, it's all about, having the resources, being aware, being very practical, and, using your resources correctly and taking then investing the time into right places and having, real visions that match your skills, not drifting away in fantasy or just visualizing things that you might not be capable of at this point in time because you don't have the certificate, you don't have the skills, or there's too much competition or things like that. So being very practical with your goals as well is very important at this point in time, and being honest with yourself about accomplishing those goals. The means that you take, the resources that you line up is also going to be very important. Now, further down it says, may you find your North Star and have the courage to follow it. May your guidance be clear and your path illuminated. May you trust the universe while taking grounded action. May you inspire others with your hope and your vision become your reality. And remember always, you are not lost, you are guided. The stars are shining. So just follow the light. Your highest good is already aligning. So you just need to trust this energy, trust the stars. The next card you have, Taurus, is the self-concept. Now, further it says, this is the unconscious beliefs you hold about who you are, the hidden stories you tell yourself about your worth and capabilities, and the profound realization that your self-concept creates your reality. So this is the internal mirror you hold up to yourself. Yeah, it's like, when we know who we are, we create our external reality according to our belief system. And the fact that the self-concept is like an inner mirror to our world. It helps us, just like in the mirror we see our external self. This is an internal mirror to us where we understand, what kind of belief system do we have, because that actually shapes our reality. Every single day, our belief system shapes our reality. And, when we build something, when we create something, we create it in a way which aligns with our belief system. And the belief system is not made of cement, right? It's a fluid concept. And it should be fluid. It shouldn't be like rigid and fixed. So self-concept is a concept which, of course, can be changed. And when we change that self-concept, when we upgrade ourselves, when we evolve ourselves, when we change our internal belief system about who we are, that's when you realize that the self-concept can be upgraded. It's not made of cement. We don't need to be trapped in this self-concept, boundary of self-concept. There's no limit. So if you are holding yourself back from something, if you feel that you're incapable or you won't be able to do it, then it's just this self-concept that needs to grow, that needs to evolve, that needs to expand. So if you're telling yourself stories that this is not for me, or I don't think I can do it, or I don't think I should do it, then I feel you need to look into it, like, where did this belief system come from? Is it the society that you grew up in? Is it some kind of a past experience? Is it your conditioning? Because whatever belief system you have, that's creating your reality. Like, as a child, you grew up seeing a certain kind of way to do your hair. Maybe all the men or all the women in your family were doing hair a certain way or were dressing up a certain way. So you've grown up to see that kind of fashion trend or hair trend or dressing trend in your house. And that becomes your reality. But then you realize that there's more to it. That's not the only way to dress up. You have a personality, you have a choice to dress up what makes you feel yourself, what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel reflect of the kind of person you think you are. So once those the inner voice, the inner conditionings, when we question that, when we evolve that, when we change that, our personality changes, our external environment changes. The way people talk to us changes. We start to look at, the world, the situations with a different lens. We start to make different kind of choices. So it's the shedding of the skin, when snakes shed skin and see the process, it's really icky, but the snake comes out shiny on the other side. So I feel that whatever your self-concept is, whatever your inner conditioning is, you need to upgrade or choose another new self-concept and then pull yourself in that direction. Try to accommodate that new self-concept in your life, in your routine, and see those elemental, incremental shifts. So it's more about like how you think of yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you talk about yourself. Like, for example, a Taurus wants to, maybe a Taurus feels that he or she is not ambitious. And you keep telling people, I'm not ambitious. Now, really, are you not ambitious? Or are you just ambitious about the things that really matter to you? It might not be chasing big corporations or big business, or it's not always about the, how much you earn and what's your status and things like that. Maybe you're not chasing that. So your self-concept could be, being contented with whatever you make. And while you're working in whatever you're making, your priority or your self-concept says that you need time for yourself, time for your family, time for your hobbies. You need to feel at ease, at peace. You need to feel stable and balanced. Your goal is not to just keep climbing the corporate levels one after the other. So it's just a different self-concept. It doesn't make you any less than. So self-concept is really not about, chasing things that people are chasing or trying to become somebody else. It's just about becoming who you are from your core and doing those actions, taking those steps, living a lifestyle that reflects your inner core, your soul voice is reflected in your actions, in your career choices, in your day-to-day choices. So you do need to update here, I feel, Taurus, this is a call for you to update your belief system. If you have been feeling limited because of your belief system, it's time to update that or upgrade that. So basically, this energy is dealing at the subconscious level. Like when we're growing, we have this foundation. Our belief system is formed through our subconscious conditioning. And those thoughts or those foundations kind of reflect into the identity. And then you have to be able to see yourself truly, is this me? Is this the real me? And then make those conscious choices and upgrade your belief system. And then your self-concept will truly match your reality. So this basically is going to be a spark, a catalyst to create the reality that you wish for yourself. So for some of you, you could be questioning, like, yeah, I'm in a corporate job. Am I really meant for this? I feel more creative. So, questioning those sentiments and then doing the things that speak to your core. So for some of you, this could be a shift from being an employee to being an employer or a creator or a founder. For some of you, this could be the other way around. You've created a business, you don't want it, you want to be back to corporate. So from a creator or a founder or a business person to an employee. It could be either ways. It could go either ways. So on that note, you can listen to a song by Shia, and I love her song. It's called The Greatest. Yeah, the greatest alive. It speaks of self-confidence. It speaks of self-concept. Yeah. And further down in the card, it says, for so long, you have accepted a self-concept as if it were written in stone. You have believed I'm this and not that. This is who I am. And you have lived your life from that fixed point, never questioning whether it was actually true. So now this card, the energy of it, is actually asking you to really look at those thoughts, those questions, and just know that you have the choice to upgrade that thought to I am becoming. The next card you have, Taurus, is the Ten of Wands. This is fire energy. It's the end of the suit of the wands, which is about exhaustion. It further says over here, this is not noble, this is not strength, this is drowning. Put some down now before you break. So you're exhausted. It's that moment when you realize that you have crossed from healthy responsibility to unhealthy overextension of yourself. It's that moment of realization that how much can you commit to tasks? What is yours to carry? So it's a moment where you are physically, mentally exhausted, Taurus, and you need to take a pause, take a break. And it's actually fine to take a break. Get the help that you can delegate, whether it's at work or whether it's at home. Read those tasks, those projects, that work, that's draining, that exhausting. And it doesn't feel fulfilling after you've completed it. Focus on your own well-being as well. Now, this is associated with the fire element, and fire is, we know that it has two ends of the spectrum. One, it gives you the passion, the drive to move forward. It burns away the obstacles. But at the same time, if it's not contained, if it goes out of bounds, out of limit, it becomes destructive. It consumes everything that comes on its path. Now, with the Ten of Wands, it means that this fire has been burning for way too long. So you have been carrying too much and doing too much. Now, for those of you that are into corporate or business, whatever it is, or even your passion projects or your hobby, something which is creative, something that you're passionate about, I feel that it has reached a point of apex, the top point, the fullness, the completion, the point of completion where you have, it's like, it's the full expression. 10 of Wands is a full creative expression. You reach that point. So from here on now, the results will start to show up. Because now, after 10 of Wands, is the time of actual manifestation. So you will see tangible results. You will start to see tangible results. But then, because also this is the 10, which means that the fire energy is reaching its utmost limit. And when that happens, it's like, the fire's burnt out. It's exhausted. You are exhausted. You need that break. You need that rest. So basically, when 10 of Wands comes, there is overextension, there is over burnout, there is overexhaustion. And that will disturb your, balance of mind, body, heart, everything. So this is not the right approach to manifesting and creating things. If you want things to be sustainable, to go the distance, to survive for a long time, to go for a long time, you will need to put some limits, cap it out, like how much energy are you putting where, and also knowing where to stop, where to rest, where to reassess your efforts. This is the point where people actually, are forced into changing their professions because, they've taken up too much load. It's their breaking point. They're overworked. They are exhausted physically, emotionally. So when this load becomes too much, when there's overwork, when there is exhaustion, then it becomes a crisis, a turning point where you need to look for change. You need to lay it down. Now, there was a TV series called Workaholics for those of you interested in catching a movie that's relevant to this energy, or this is actually a TV show, Workaholics. You can watch this. It's comic, but it's dark comic. And it speaks about how, people get overworked, and, it's a dark humor around that subject. Now, actually, this could happen in a number of ways, like especially in times of remote work. There's no boundaries. Like, when do we get up? When do we eat? When do we stop working? So that can create this kind of a exhaustion. Or some of you might be exhausted with the things that you're doing in and around the house. Maybe it's a maintenance, maybe it's a repair, maybe it's an upgrade, and things like that. That could be exhausting you as well. Now, further down here it says, burnout is understood as a spiritual misalignment. When you're carrying more than you're meant to carry, you're literally working against the universe's design for you. The universe can only flow through channels that are open and care. When you're plugged with overextension, you block your own divine flow. Laying down the burden is not selfish, it's spiritual alignment. So basically this is talking about, put timings on the amount that you work, so that it becomes sustainable, day after day. Otherwise it leads to exhaustion and burnout. Or, and further down it says your success is sustainability. Now, some of you also need to focus on your own health and well-being. You need to take care of yourself as well, like having the time to eat right, having the time to exercise right, having the time to sleep right. Otherwise, the body collapses too. And in this day and age, taking care of yourself is not really a luxury, it's a necessity. Because when you eat well, you relax well, you sleep well, then you're able to think well, you're able to move well. And that's when the burden or overcommitment becomes manageable. And the last but not the least, it's okay to say no to things. No to, external events or events in the house, chores in the house. It's okay to say. Now, if this is not your energy, Taurus, you could be seeing this around you. For example, there was a time when there was fast fashion. If it's on the ramp, it's there in your closet. So there was an era of fast fashion, and it took a lot of people to put it together to create fashion that fast, to scale it up. So everybody was tired, everybody was exhausted with that effort. Even the environment was exhausted. So you might be seeing things like that. You might be hearing things about people that are exhausted, because of they're stretched thin. Or you might be hearing that a lot of, employees are quitting a company because of the number of hours that is required out of them. Now, this happens all the time in the sports world, whether it's tennis, whether it's marathon, whether it's any kind of sports, basketball or Olympics, all the professional athletes or sports people, they actually have to prioritize their own space time to recover from injuries, to recover from being here, there, everywhere, from playing all the time, from training all the time, because it takes a lot out of the human body. So instead of, feeding things to your body to boost energy levels, when we take the break and work out and do things organically, that's more sustainable, that's more healthy. So you'll find a lot of athletes that burn out and they actually take periodic breaks from their work schedule so that they're able to tend to themselves first. Otherwise, it becomes a huge burden, recovery, and, it becomes a huge burden. And you've heard that from a lot of, even Michael Phelps even came forward and spoke about it, even Serena Williams, and even, from Olympics, we heard of Simone Biles also come out with that, or Simone Biles, I don't know, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong, but a lot of people, especially sports personalities or even business people, when they're having one hotel, second hotel, or one restaurant, second restaurant, they get burnt out. So you might be hearing that they're taking a break, they're out on a long vacation, or they closed the store, or something like that. You might be hearing things around your city, community, or even at a global scale in regards to this energy. Now, some of you might also be hearing about labor movement. Those are labor groups and unions that come forward and they speak against overburden and extra hours that needs to be put in to be in the job, so which is not sustainable, and then they come out, unions and leaders, they and then, when they stand up for that, there is a recognition by the lawmakers or by the companies, the policy makers, that everybody should have a limit on how much work they should be allowed to put in Monday. And I know that a lot of industries are actually they're going through an overhaul on the number of hours that the employees should be allowed to work, not, whatever the cap is. But now they are redefining cap because of the incidences that have happened in the past that were not so fortunate and because of overwork. So we've heard in a lot of parts of the world also that, it's fatal, overworking. But when they said that earlier, that hard work never kills anyone, it actually does. Too much work and burnout is fatal. So take care of yourself, and if this is not your energy, these situations could be playing out around your neighborhood. We could be hearing about these and reading about this in the news, or even at the global level, these energies could be playing out in these ways. And the last card, Pachuri Taurus, you have the potential and possibility, and it further says future, highest self, and quantum that is calling for you. Reach out to the potential. This is quantum leap by knowing that you are stepping into your highest potential. So there are a lot of possibilities, I would say, a lot of endless possibilities available to you, Taurus. And when you recognize that, when you live in that belief, you always remain in your highest self. Always think according to those highest principles. Always act according to the highest principles. So I feel that it's not about futuristic plans or what are you going to do in the future. The future is built on the actions that you take right now, the choices that you make right now. And, the thing is, with infinite possibilities, nothing is fixed. It's not that you only have access to this, or you'll only be working on this, or it has to be exactly this way. It's not fixed. It's not rigid. It's just that it's going to be different for each one of you. And realizing that you are already in that elevated consciousness will allow you to tap into those possibilities. Further it says here, this energy is not about someday. It's about recognizing that your high self is not a future achievement. It's a frequency you can access now. And when you align with that frequency, your external reality reorganizes around it. Now, if there is any area that you wish to focus on, that you wish to, achieve more, do more, then this is your moment to take that up and, and act, do the things that will take you forward, that will help you excel in those areas or move forward in those areas. Now, the only caveat with this infinite possibilities is that, yeah, there is options to do this, that, and the third. But then again, that becomes a little bit of a drawback as well. When you have those multiple paths that you can choose, especially if you're going for career, or it could be in any area. But if you have, like, some goals in mind and they're all scattered, like you're working here, there, everywhere, then you won't be able to manifest or create the actual, manifestation of that path that you choose. So pick one and go at it. And when you've reached your highest potential in that, when you've excelled in that, you mastered that, comfortable with that, then you can pick on another one. But simultaneously, if the energy is scattered, then you won't be able to see anything concrete being built. So, for example, like the solar power, wind power, renewable energy, those clean sources were just, thoughts and possibilities a few years ago, but now they're for real. They're real, alternatives to fossil fuels and the traditional systems of energy. So it was the collective consciousness of people, of geopolitical leaders, to choose that higher potential of tapping into renewable, clean resources over fossil fuels. So they chose that higher potential. And then that potential of clean renewable resources of energy actually got manifested. I would say, I would say that potential actually got translated into a transformation globally. So everybody now across the globe is using those renewable resources. It was just a potential before, but now that potential has turned into it's transformed the earth. It's transformed the way we do things. Similarly, planes, before the first plane came about by Wright brothers, and it was just a possibility. And then now we have all kinds of planes. We have jets and things like that. So it's the same thing. It was a potential, and now it got manifested, and it changed, transformed the world. So you have that kind of energy available to you, Taurus, to transform your world or your community or your life, your city, country, whatever that is for you. Now, when you align with this energy, some of you might end up making some career changes, or going back to school. Or partnering up with people, whether in business or personal life, that match your ideas, your values. Some of you might also be starting a side gig or some kind of a hobby that turns into a business or a project from that elevated standpoint. So it is like a, kind of new perspectives, a new take on things. Also, coming from the highest principle, whether it's, whether I feel that there is a lot of spiritual backbone to this, a lot of spiritual development that has gone to elevate as well. And I feel that when you when you put your heart and soul into it with the highest principles, it's revolutionary. It can revolutionize. It can revolutionize things, actually. Even when you're starting a business of your own, for example, fashion, if you're into fashion, or clothes industry or something like that, where you are coming from the highest principle, where you don't want to use material that is not bio-friendly or, so you're coming from a place of environment consciousness, and then you're building your clothes or choosing material and fabric that aligns with that highest principle. So instead of going in for the traditional or the older, outdated ways of doing things, you're probably choosing, something which is from an elevated point. For those of you interested in quantum physics and consciousness and all of that, you can watch a documentary which I truly loved. It's called What the Bleep Do We Know? What the Bleep Do We Know? And it's exactly how quantum physics and how observation and tapping into highest principle and highest consciousness actually creates that kind of reality. So it's a very interesting documentary for those of you interested in catching up with movies related to this energy. And, even that song, it strikes on my right now. There's a song, Don't Stop Believing, hold on to that feeling. Yeah, it's actually that, there is that hope, that faith, that whatever you're feeling, it's a potential that you can create. Have faith in that, hold on to that, and then you can, access so much more beyond that point. It's a beautiful song. I think it's by Journey. So listen to that song if you haven't heard already. Don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. Even that song Unstoppable by Sia, I love that song. It has a great vibe, very futuristic vibe, very powerful. It says, I'm unstoppable. So it's really nice. Sia, she's a great singer. I really appreciate her music. So listen to that song if you are interested. And I think for that matter, even Elon Musk, his company Neuralink, for those of you that have heard, if not, look it up, about the chips and how planting chips here and there, I think that's kind of very futuristic. But who knows, it might become a reality someday for all of us. So check that out as well. I feel that completely aligns with this quantum energy, futuristic energy that's available to you. Now, for those of you that this energy does not resonate, if it's not playing out in your life, it could be with someone around you. Or it could be in the globally that you're hearing things, or maybe in your neighborhood you're hearing, futuristic things being built because, or it could be like, when the builders, they, create newer homes using more future technologies and things like that. There's a concept called as automated living, where your phone has a app and it can turn lights off in the entire house. It can operate so many machines, TV and all of that. So it is a futuristic kind of living, an automated kind of living. So you might hear that more futuristic homes are being built with new technology, new layouts and things like that. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.